Hi everyone, if you like this session and want to watch more where I go into Bitcoin, how I see the market currently, and do I think it's coming back to the lows again, make sure to become a newsletter subscriber by clicking the link below and you can watch the premium version of this session. Have a wonderful day. Hope you enjoy the show. A boring one, but a goodie, and this is my cherry ripe for the week. Old Pax Gold. So if Bitcoin is looking like it wants to run back to the lows and form some kind of consolidation, I love looking at gold. Gold has been the standout performer. Pax Gold is a tokenized gold alternative, so it falls within the brackets of crypto. I'm leaning into it. Let's go. It has been performing admirably, and I know a lot of our masterminds clients have been moving into gold along the way, and it's outperformed most other assets out there, including Bitcoin. So that's another strategy that you can apply where you're looking at those Bitcoin pair charts going, look, I want to make more Bitcoin. I'm confident on this asset in the longer term. I want to make more of it. So one way you can do that is obviously trade the USD pairs of a lot of these assets. But you can also look at the Bitcoin gold ratio and go from there. And gold has consistently broken out against Bitcoin. And each time you're trading between Pax Gold and Bitcoin, you're essentially making more Bitcoin. So that has been a big boon. But in a USD sense, I'm looking at gold here. Yes, it's had an incredible run. Yes, it may be trying to roll over here in a lower high, which is why I'm waiting for tomorrow's daily close to give me a bit more information. Ultimately, a weekly close will tell me a lot more. But I think if it can close above that 5,100 region on a daily close over some of these wicks, it's telling me it wants to scoot away again. So that's where I'm looking at the moment in terms of my cherry ripe for the crypto market is ironically in gold. Now, on the flip side of that, if we're looking at where we might manage some risk on that, you can get pretty tight with it. That's on the weekly. That's too high. Let's go down to the daily. Do I have a 10 EMA on here? I do not. Let me bring one up. There we go. Perfect. So you've got the 20 SMA and the 10 EMA. Just under that, I would have a stop loss about 4950, 4920, some type of region through there, which gives you some flexibility. It's only from this region, 1.5%, but you're getting the upside potential. So waiting another day for the power, see if it pushes through. If it does, sweet, getting into it, putting a stop loss there, riding it higher, and that would correspond, I think, quite nicely to the Bitcoin pair chart. Yes. So I said to the masterminds today, this is looking really good. It's searching for a breakout against Bitcoin, but we just want to make sure that this isn't a bit of a fake out. It pokes its head above, fooling everyone and just reversing tomorrow and going there. But if it can close through this level, then I think gold's pretty good for another run, which it could get up to that next level, which would be pretty wild. Another 30%, 36% run to the top of the range. Okay, ETH, very, very similar to XRP, but with the caveat that it is actually coming into some really nice support. So ETH here running into this volume band over here. Even so, I don't really like ETH here. I think it looks still really bad. And if I'm having a look at the 200-week moving average snake through here, it's lost it. So this is just hunting, like my yellow squiggle has here. It's hunting for some of this volume below. So I think ETH still has the capacity. I think I put up here that it could do a 50% like XRP down to this box. I don't know if it gets there, but it's just, a moonshot. 1200 is that nice little box there, maybe before it reverses. But this cluster here, and ultimately this cluster here on this volume is where I think ETH makes its last stand. But I just wouldn't be getting interested in ETH until it reclaims that 200-week moving average and some type of movement like that, and that horizontal. That's where I get interested in, which is about 2,752. But right now, I'd be seeing and waiting for the reaction Ethereum gets down at the 1800 level, 1600 level. And these are just crazy prices for Ethereum, but it doesn't mean I want to buy them. I'm going to buy the strength on the other side where I see the trend starting to reverse. I don't want to buy stuff that's just potentially going to grind and bleed into these areas. So ETH is a one to watch, if nothing other than I want to see the price, but also because it's the second largest crypto asset in the market, and it has a host of stablecoins on it. I think it has an incredibly bright future. But a few cycles ago, when Bitcoin's trying to bottom, ETH tends to do it as well. So I'm seeing really no strength here from ETH, which is again part of the puzzle that we're going to have to work through. But I just won't be buying this asset until I see some crucial levels flip. So that's my one to watch today. XRP is my danger zone. I love to hate it. It's okay to trade, but love to hate it. And I know a lot of people, love it. They see it on TikTok all the time. I see it on socials. It's one of the cryptos that just survives cycle after cycle with this cultural phenomenon. So it's fun to look at every now and then. Now, it is my danger zone this week, but it could be a multitude of other charts that look pretty similar to this. Zcash is another one that looks very, very heavy, like XRP. But I'm using XRP, Ethereum predominantly in this altcoin Bible because it was in my newsletter last week where I just wanted to completely join the bear crowd and go, right, the trend is down. Where can some of these altcoins actually get to if Bitcoin decides to really make a run for it? And Bitcoin made a run for it. And my thesis was, all right, well, based on these charts, XRP and Ethereum could actually go down another 50%. Where would that be? Well, it'd be in this box down here. Lo and behold, XRP dropped into that box through that region. Didn't quite get to the, below $1, but my goodness, did it absolutely drop. So, from the top, XRP is now down 70%, where it was the other day. I think it was hanging about there, $1.70. It went down 33%. So not quite the 50% that I almost hyperbolically made in the newsletter, but it's a good lesson in just charting because on the weekly, it's just a very easy chart to see, and you want to fight it. You don't want to believe it, especially if you're bag holding. But this launch up and this structure of the XRP chart, you can see how strong this horizontal was right here, and then we lost it right there conclusively with that weekly candle down. Now you could fight it and try and long it, but that is a clear trend shift into a new range. So, I mean, it just looks like it wants to come down lower. XRP on the weekly, yes, it's approaching that weekly lower end on the RSI. It's not in oversold. It can still go lower. It doesn't have to, but it can. And I'm just looking at XRP here, tag the 200, but like Bitcoin, my suspicion is it wants to tag the 200, either drawn out or maybe quickly. Either way, I think this is on the cards. Now, even if Bitcoin does stabilize here, a lot of these alts just need to find their own floor in many respects. And if I was just heading down on XRP here, I mean, this is a chart I want to show. It actually looks similar to Bitcoin in many ways. It could be trying to put in that higher low like BTC, but based on the broader chart that I've just shown you on the weekly, XRP could just be doing this and rolling over to find the next low because ultimately it's just been lower highs, lower lows all the way down. So there's a very, very clear trend, bounce, 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 bounce. So yes, it can come up here, but just got to watch that. Now, on the flip side of that, if XRP, wasn't a danger, so personally, I'd be targeting that $1.90, 80 cent range on XRP for some just bargain basement buys. I'm not going to buy XRP, but if you are, that's probably where I would get interested in. Ultimately, though, we want to see, a flip of that level there at $1.85. Or a bit safer would be above the 200-day moving average at $2.32. You're paying quite a premium to buy up at those levels, 78%, that's a lot. So I think getting interested at $1.84 when we see a lot of this breakdown mess get reclaimed, I think that's sensible. $1.85, that's where, as a trade, I'd get interested in that 32% from here. And again, we need to retrain our minds a little bit and think, we're happy to pay a premium for more information because we now know that the trend is likely moving higher and we're going to capture a lot of that upside that we think is on the table versus just bag holding all the way down because this looks not good. This is a chart I personally want to short. All right, guys, hope you have a wonderful day. Catch you again soon. Bye-bye.